This video is about the ARIES recovery algorithm. ARIES stands for Algorithm for Recovery and Isolation Exploiting Semantics. It's an advanced method for ensuring data consistency in database systems, even when there are failures. This algorithm uses a technique called write-ahead logging. Let's explore what ARIES is all about. ARIES, which as we said before, stands for Algorithm for Recovery and Isolation Exploiting Semantics, is a recovery algorithm developed by IBM for database systems. It's designed to maintain D properties, that is, atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability, even if the system crashes. The key principles on which ARIES operates are, first, the write-ahead logging protocol. Second, repeating history during redo. And third, logging changes during undo. Let's dive into the write-ahead logging protocol. The main principle of write-ahead logging is that the log record for any change must be written to a stable storage, like a disk, before the actual change data page is written to disk. This ensures that in the event of a system failure, all changes can be either redone or undone. Now let's look at the structure of a log record. Each log record contains the following fields: log sequence number, or LSN, which is a unique ID for each log record; transaction ID, or trans ID, which indicates which transaction made the change; type, which specifies the type of operation like update, commit, or abort; page ID, which identifies the affected page; length, indicating the length of the change; offset, specifying the offset within the page where the change occurred; before, which is the value of the data before the change; and after, which is the value of the data after the change. Let's explore the special log records used in ARIES. Several key log record types are used. First, update. These records detail changes to data items, including both the before and after values. Second, compensation log records, or CLR. These records document undo operations and contain an undo next LSN pointer. Third, checkpoint. These records contain snapshots of the transaction table and dirty page table. Fourth, begin and end transaction. These records mark the start and end of a transaction. And fifth, commit and abort. These records indicate whether a transaction was successfully completed or was aborted. Let's understand compensation log records, or CLRs, in detail. CLRs have some special characteristics. They document the actions performed during the undo process. They are never undone themselves, they are redo-only operations. They include an undo next LSN pointer to the next log record that needs to be undone. They allow for efficient partial rollbacks. And they prevent repeated undos after system failures. Here is an example of a CLR structure. The LSN is 1001. The transaction ID is T1. The type is CLR. The page ID is P5. The undo next LSN is 950. And the redo info indicates that X was updated from 75 to 50. The CLR points to LSN 950, which is the next operation that needs to be undone for this transaction. Let's explore checkpoints in ARIES. Checkpoints reduce recovery time by recording important information, including the transaction table, which lists all active transactions at the time of the checkpoint; the dirty page table, which lists all modified pages that have not yet been written to disk; and the last LSN, or most recent log sequence number. ARIES uses what are known as fuzzy checkpoints. These do not require freezing the system. Here's an example of what a checkpoint might contain. First, a transaction table containing the transaction ID, the status, and the last L, S, N. In this example, transaction T1 is active with the last L, S, N of 1050, and transaction T2 is committing with the last L, S, N of 1045. Second, a dirty page table containing the page ID and the rec L, S, N. In this example, page P1 has a rec L, S, N of 1020, and page P5 has a rec L, S, N of 1030. The ARIES recovery process consists of 3 well-defined phases that work together to restore database consistency after a failure. The 3 phases are analysis, redo, and undo. During the analysis phase, the algorithm starts from the most recent checkpoint, reconstructs the transaction table and the dirty page table, identifies active transactions at the time of the crash, and determines the redo L, S, N, which is the earliest log record that might need to be redone. During the redo phase, the algorithm starts from the redo L, S, N, and repeats history by redoing all updates, regardless of the transaction status. It skips redo operations if the page L, S, N is greater than or equal to the log record L, S, N. This phase brings the database to the exact state it was in at the time of the crash. Finally, during the undo phase, the algorithm rolls back all active transactions, processes them in reverse L, S, N order, generates C, L, R.S for each undone action, and follows the undo next L, S, N chain for transactions that have C, L, R. This phase ends when all transactions have been processed. Let's take a closer look at the analysis phase. The steps of this phase are as follows. First, start from the most recent checkpoint. Second, initialize the transaction table and dirty page table, using the data from the checkpoint. Third, scan forward through the log. Fourth, update the transaction status based on begin, commit, and abort records. Fifth, add pages to the dirty page table for each update operation. And sixth, determine the redo L, S, N, which is the smallest rec L, S, N, in the dirty page table. Here is some pseudocode that illustrates the analysis phase. The function analysis phase begins by reading the latest checkpoint and initializing the transaction table, T, and the dirty page table, D, P, T. It then scans forward from the checkpoint. For each log record, R after the checkpoint if the record type is update and if the record page is not in D, P, T. Then the record page is added to D, P, T, along with the records L, S, N. And if the record transaction I, D, is not in T, then the record transaction I, D, is added to T, with a status of active and the record L, S, N. In either case, the transaction table's last L, S, N, is set to the records L, S, N. Otherwise, if the record type is commit, then the transaction table's status is set to commit. Or if the record type is abort, then the transaction table's status is set to abort. Finally, the redo L, S, N, is set to the minimum rec L, S, N, found in the dirty page table. Let's delve into the redo phase. The principles of this phase are as follows. First, start from the redo L, S, N. That was determined in the analysis phase. Second, repeat history by redoing all updates, regardless of transaction status. Third, apply the idempotent principle, meaning that applying an operation multiple times has the same effect as applying it once. Fourth, use page-oriented redo with optimizations to avoid unnecessary I/O. And fifth, redo CLRs just like regular update records. Key principle: repeating history exactly as it happened. Here is some pseudocode that illustrates the redo phase. The function redo phase takes redo in as a parameter. It scans forward from the redo in for each log record R where the record in is greater than or equal to the redo in if the record type is update or the record type is CLR. Then if the record page is in the dirty page table, the page R.page is fetched if it is not in the buffer. If the page's in is less than the record's in, then the changes in R are applied to the page. The page's in is set to the record's in, and the page is marked as dirty. Finally, all dirty pages are flushed. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.